Get that motherfucker nice and way too hot. So that's got to cool off for like forever. And then I'll be like, oh shit, now it's too cold. And you throw a dab in there and it just like barely melts, but not enough to fucking smoke. And, that'd be my luck.
What's up, everybody?
I do like dabs though. And everybody likes dab prog. So.
Oh, yeah, I need smoke too. So let's get that on today.
Here's Galaxy Solution, Big Word, Sheldon, Doc is in the house as always, cake in the cup. Cheers, Joel Scott, great to see you. Everybody's jumping in here, freaking faster than I can speak.
My trim job brings all the boys to the yard.
It does though. It looks like empty in there compared to the last time.
Well, the emptiness is only temporary. Nature will fill the void, right?
So have you been going pretty solid for the last couple days, just trying to stay ahead of the game, or?
Yeah, so what I do is I'll bring in just buds, and then I come in and I go across the piece with just my fingers, take all the main leaves off, chuck them over there against the wall where I've got my nice little pile started. I've been turning that daily just so it doesn't get all fucked. And then I get it down to, probably like that. Maybe just one leaf. So then it hangs and dries like that without any main suckers on it, just the sugars to come down and dry over the, show me one here. Come on. So once it dries up a bit, you'll see that the leaves kind of cover up and around the buds. And then you come in and knock those leaves off with trim scissors and you're done. This way there's not many leaves with the petioles still left. So it's nice and efficient, gets done on time, and then it makes an easy job for the trimmers. They're not bitching like, what the fuck is this you're handing me, big haggard tree full of swaggy crap. Just a stick with buds, right?
You're too nice.
Yeah. Happy trimmers.
Dude, you got some pampered trimmers coming up their way. I hope they realize, because when I trim my buds that I have to deal with don't look nice and mostly trimmed like that for me when I get them. I'm almost jealous.
Yeah, I'm kind of like back in the day, man, when I'd go to these farm grows and we'd all huddle into some old goat barn for the night to trim the weed. It was never nice. It was just a big haggard branch, right?
Yeah. Yeah, get to it.
Yeah, you do your job and hurry the fuck up. I did find some seeds. I would have lost it already, but I found a seed in the BAM3.
Huh.
It would have been from the Great Poolie. I had a Great Poolie male and a Ghost Beach male hanging out in the garden right around flower time. When they were pre-flowering, and I let them do their thing. So those stalks out there are most likely going to have some crotch seeds for me.
That's all right.
Crotch seeds.
I saw Iceni posting up on Instagram. It must have been there yesterday or today. And he's got some like Grey Poolie male over there doing its thing. Hell so yeah. Hoolie's busting nuts on like every continent around pretty well. Like
go Hoolie.
You're getting stud making his way around. So that's cool to see, because I've seen the Grey Poolie males and they're fucking stout bastards. Like they're
I always have some dry enough to smoke because it smells fucking wonderful.
Yeah, no, they're fucking nice. Cheers, weed nerd.
Yeah, weed nerd. Oh yeah, I got your mailbox, weed nerd. It's I haven't put anything in it yet, but I went to the mail place and I got the shipping box. So we at least made that step.
Oh shit, we got Sniff in the house. Cheers, Sniff. I hope you're doing well, dude.
Yeah, brother.
Cheers, Iceni.
So this is the last not the last, but this is some of the last of the wedding cake.
Ooh. See the sparkles from here, though.
Yeah, it's pretty frosty stuff.
Cheers, Anova. Miranda Family Farms. Great to see you.
I'm just trying to get to the point. Actually, I should have put these a row over, but it's nice. Like a lot of people do this task outdoors, but I just don't really have the time. And I find this way a little easier because instead of going around the plant hunting down a branch to work on, and that branch is where that branch is. This way, the branch is at my head height, no matter what. I can work along, and the leaves drop to the ground, and I kick them over. You can see that action, but I kick them over, so they all end up over against that wall there, and the room stays clean. Everything can stay efficient, organized. It's not to the point of everything being on hangers and hooks, but I've got it down pretty streamlined here. But I need to get chair clean so I can get over here and smoke this bowl. So look at all that. Just from trying to press the lighter when I've been trimming. Where the fuck butt into that thing? Well,
Actually, it seemed to want to work for me. I find this disconcerting. Ooh. I do not know. All right, well, enough of that. Cheers, J. Patrick. I hope you're doing great too, my man. All right, I better do a dab because, well, I can.
I better get to trimming again.
See, I don't do dabs for like a while, and I get some, and I get all like hot and giddy, and be like, dude, by the time my old lady walks through the door after she gets home from work, I'll be the lights are on, but nobody's home, kind of, so to speak. I'll be like drooling, maybe, possibly watching some kind of horror movie because it's October. Damn, like, are you much of an actual horror guy, GB?
Me, I like horrors, yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite horror series growing up?
You missed that. Kind of almost one R in that one. I said no, but yeah, I do like horror flicks. I like the old school shit ones, like where they're zombies stabbing you with screwdrivers and stuff. Those are the good.
Okay, I got ones. You. Yeah.
Night of the Living Dead, shit like that, where it's so corny. You know, and the girl jumps and grabs your arm, that kind of shit. The new stuff that's like, that's just gory. That's just fucking gross. Sawing your arms off and shit. Yeah.
I'm with you too. Like when the Saw movies came out, it was like really cool because there's like all of a sudden it was so obscene and more gore, right, than horror. And then everything kind of took that extreme, which is fun to watch. But when the story doesn't have much of a story to it, it's just got people dying in the most fucked up ways.
Yeah, right.
And then, to be honest, nowadays, I don't even want those fucking thoughts in my head. Like, for the most part, I don't watch horror movies all that often, but, like, a couple times a year, you got to get one down. You know, it's fun to be scared sort of thing. And also, it's October, so it's Halloween month. It's kind of my cheesy-ass way of celebrating Halloween since I don't really dress up and go out anymore. I think I do get to take my kid out trick-or-treating, so that could be fun, especially if we end up pairing up with, like, some friends of hers and their parents or something like that. She's got some pretty fun friends with cool parents that are
I don't think it lands on my week this year, so I'll get to. That's the thing I got to look out for now when we do the 50-50 with the kids. Some weekends I got to, either if I want them for a certain holiday, I'll have to request that.
Yep. Well, hopefully it'll work out, or like that. You can flip flop if need be for the two of you. If there's any reason, I like saying with her if she wanted them. I've been very lucky when my settlement was all finished and done. All I actually have to give I'm only entitled to 2 weekends a month. But I'm very fortunate that I get Abigail just about every weekend. There's maybe 4 weekends a year that I don't get her, which is just fine with me. And, you know, the times that you don't get her, maybe even 6 weekends a year, but that would be about it. Usually, you know, like whatever, not even try and space them out and time it out for you. But, you know, it's like kind of nice where you get the kidless weekend on there, which is what we got coming up here. So it's
yeah, it gives you the opportunity as an adult to go out and hang out and do some stuff that you didn't get to do as like a married couple with a family. Like you're bachelor mode for a little bit of time, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it's a whole new adventure out there when you're doing that shit. Like going out on my own out in the wild, fucking as a single dude, man. Like it's fucking weird, but I'll take it. Get to see these different things. Like that concert I went to was pretty dope. That was pretty cool. Getting asked to go up to the pit, man, sitting in the grass smoking joints. Some lady comes up, hey man, you want to go to the pit?
Dude, that's so badass.
I
was so stoked for you when you were telling me about that, man. Like I'm trying to figure out how to make King Diamond happen next month. And it's doable, but it's one of those things that like I really shouldn't. And you guys have heard me say this a million times at this point in time. So odds are I will fucking do it, but it's like I'm trying to be responsible going into the holiday season. Let's just put it that way. And so we shall see. But at the same time, it's like my daughter's named after one of his albums, right? So it's like it seems like a hell of a time to try to be responsible, if that, you know what I mean. Cheers, Agnes.
Try to be responsible enough that you get her there because it's named after it.
Right? You never know. He might not come around again. He's fucking old as shit. But also, he's playing freaking new music. Because they just started the tour last night day before last night. And it's like, I'm like, hot shit, man. Like, well, that's like I said, man. My daughter's named after one of his albums. That gives you how much you know. That's all you need to know. And I can just sit here and go on for days, and GBL be like, well, at least there's background noise while I fuck with my plants.
Yeah. I'm starting to finally get the floors getting a little fucked up here, getting a little sticky, a little tacky. This is the thing. I should have a tarp down or something, but I don't. So. Moving right along. What I'll do is I'll just do an alcohol mop afterwards. Clean the floor by hand.
You know, big word, that's a pretty good idea.
What's big word saying?
Because, like, honestly, like, my Christmas is just over a month away. You know, that show's on November 18th. Christmas, December 25th. My birthday even happens to fall on December 25th. So, like, yeah, right?
Christmas birthday combo.
Yeah. That might have to
be but it wasn't cool until I was like 18. Under that age, it sucked. Or did you get the double whammy? Did everyone be like, oh, fuck, Brad's Christmas?
I don't know, honestly. I didn't pay that much attention. Like, my parents didn't fucking do that, I don't think. But honestly, now, man, like, ever since I've been an adult, like, I don't fucking really I don't care. Like, I'm happy to be with people around me that I love and enjoy being around, and that I don't typically get to see that often, living, 4 hours away from mom and dad. I got to see a lot of them this year working there, which was great. But like, I remember back in the bachelor days, there was the one year where my parents must have, on the Greyhound bus, they must have sent up like huge boxes full of presents, birthday, Christmas presents, all in one kind of thing. And I just like, honestly, it was like, yeah. And it was weeks before I got around to opening them. But at the same time, while I was doing that, I knew damn well my mother was probably itching for, like the, like the thank yous for this and that. And, like, there was a little bit of me being a shit in there as well. But it's, yeah, man, it's not about the physical stuff.
No, it's all about, like, for me, ever since I was probably mid-teen, Christmas became like, I want to just see people.
Yeah.
So fuck off with the presents because they end up sitting around and not getting used and whatnot, whatever. I'd rather just see someone or have an experience as opposed to a present.
Yeah, actually, a good one that I saw a friend of mine that I used to work in the bush with years ago, falling trees. He was a Facebook post, I believe. Yeah, it's the only way I know him, I guess. After work, was he just his thing was like like basically what we were just saying. Don't buy me anything for Christmas. Don't save your money and stuff like that. But instead send me a recipe. Pick like what's your favorite meal, like hopefully you've already got it on a card or whatever. You can just take the picture of it, send me that. And I was like, you know what? Like that's actually a really good idea. Like, like everybody has at least one thing, maybe not everyone, but most people have at least one thing they can cook really well. And saving, like, if we were to do, like, I'm looking at 34 people in the chat right now or that are watching. Cheers, Kingfisher. And, like, so if everybody were to send in a recipe, like, even say you had two people fucking decide they were going to send you chocolate chip cookies or something, you'd probably still get two different chocolate chip cookie recipes, right? Just because that's the first thing I can think of to cook. Wait, but yeah, thanks, King. It's you know what, the missus likes it too. Me looking like this, it's she actually like comes near me more now. I didn't realize I was that gross. Like I knew unkempt for sure. And, I was always first say the homeless guy beard, right? I know what I look like, but the missus really appreciates this one, which is that's good. It's always good to keep her happy. So, but I thought the whole shaving the mustache off because like is like I was gonna wait till November and get through that and keep the mustache and shave the beard and then get rid of the mullet and all that after too. And then I was like, nah, because it's coming in the winter where it gets cold and I don't like to have a bare face in the winter working out the bush and stuff like that. So I was like, I'll do this. Okay, well, she's already said she liked the short hair. So I was like, and she wouldn't let me shave the chin off and have the mutton chop so I could look like Lemmy from Motorhead because that would have been the shit to me. But she's like, no, and made a very convincing case for how much I hate her if I make myself look like that kind of thing. So I was like, I'll get payback. Get rid of this. She comes out like all like happy and stuff. Like, oh, I like that. And I'm just like, my assholeisms have been thwarted.
Yeah.
Cheers, Victoria Lee.
Cheers, Victoria. I'm debating if I'm going to get the beard any thicker than like the. Whoa. I don't know where I'm standing at it. It's winter's coming, right? So.
See, I'm all about the beard in the winter just because of it is cold and it does help keep the wind off and stuff. Even being out there the last few days, or I guess all week long, we're working in a pretty windy area. And that breeze on the back of my neck, now that the mullet's gone, like, fuck me, dude, that sucks. That's like, I find the one thing that will, maybe not the one thing, but it's something that even when it's not even all that cold out, but you got that steady breeze where it's like just above freezing temperatures, and it's like the back of your neck is like a fucking warmth wick where it just sucks the fucking warmth out of you. You're like, oh. Cheers, Noof. Hope you're doing well, brother. Oh, Kingfisher's gonna go extreme with the change.
Were you going to see Babyface Fisher?
Well, that could be different. We could be like twins. That wouldn't be so bad at all.
Oh, man. Just when I thought I couldn't get stickier enough, this wedding cake, man.
Yeah, dude, I'm so excited for. Oh yeah, here, let me big screen that. If I can hit the button.
The wedding cake, sugar leaf.
Yes, it's looking good.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Here, let's get a look over the plug here. This looks to be a little bit of a lower one, but
Yeah, I'll big screen that one too. I can hit the button. All right.
She's got the rails on her. A little bit premature. You can tell that was more at the bottom of the plant, trying to poke its way up into the sunlight there. Keep going. But good to go. It'll make a jar. Make a jar. And I was able to get a cut of that wedding cake. I had a shitty one growing in a pot outside. I was still alive the other week, so I hauled it in, and I've got it under 24-hour light now. So should have that revenge.
I'm all beyond stoked right now. I was looking in the 110, and I'm about a month away from my first harvest in a long ass time. So that's so exciting. Like, really, really, really effing exciting.
Yeah, I haven't pulled off quality indoor in a while. It's been off my game for quite a bit. And yeah, recently my license just went upside down, so just dealing with that shit. But the garden's keeping me on track outdoors. That storm scared the shit out of me, but recouped from that. Now it's just go time with the harvest. Like, we got a freeze, first heavy frost to freeze yesterday. So like, I think it was like 30 something, 31 or 2 last night. Because I had quite the layer of ice on the truck this morning. I wasn't too happy about that. I didn't have time to do any investigating or anything. I had to just boogie off to work. Came home, the garden looked fine. So I did some investigating to see what I would take next. And yeah, it was Bam 3 and the wedding cake had, the most maturity going on for flowers. So I just said, you know what, that's what we're taking.
Pinky's up, well. Oh, you can keep talking. I hear you.
Yeah, we don't got much, we're into the last little stretch, right? So it's like whatever can come down, take down. It's, I'm only going to have some help trimming for a couple days. And I want to get as much done as I can there. And then after that, I'll do it myself. But I want to have it at least condensed so I'm not dealing with a whole fucking room. If I can keep it all in a tent, then I can keep those temps and humidity levels right place where I want them. Hanging out in this room. This room is 58.7 degrees and 56% humidity, so that's actually really fucking good for open air. But it's only like that because these came in off the plant damp. They're wet themselves, so that's jacking that room up a little bit. But you get in the zone, man. Just get in the zone. Fucking
cheers, Major.
But this wedding cake's easy to trim. It's very, very like it's golf ball-y kind of buds, right? They don't really stack up tight together, so boom, 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 boom. They're all spaced out nice and evenly.
Dude, you know what's awesome? And I'm pretty sure I've talked about this. You guys better be prepared for this, especially if it continues to go my way. So I started a freaking I decided to join a fantasy hockey league. I haven't watched hockey in probably 13, 14, whenever the last walkout was, unless there's been a more recent one, but more than 10 years anyways, well over 10 years. And I was like, you know what? But I missed the daily cell phone interaction of looking at my phone and doing fantasy sports. I was like, I'm going to fucking do a hockey team. I'm in second place in that fucking league right now.
Hell yeah.
And I'm not in second place by much, less than 10 points when I was checking this morning. So unless this dude really hauls off on me tonight, damn, this makes me happy.
Good.
So I'm going to become an arrogant little prick for the next however long the hockey season is. Just like all the hockey players in this town. We've got a young hockey team, well below WHL kind of thing. Probably about, I'd say, 15, 16-year-olds. And, it's funny. You could tell them a mile away. walking through town.
Cocky little hockey players.
Oh yeah. They all dress the same, and I don't know. It's good for them playing hockey and stuff like that, but it's just I don't know if it's all hockey players or just our town, but it just seems like arrogance seems to fall. The kids I grew up with that played hockey, I don't recall being arrogant like that.
The worst is if you're a server at a restaurant and you get the hockey teams rolling in. Holy fuck.
You see that? Yeah, I guess I could be chirping a little bit, King. It's more of like an observation, I guess. But yeah.
Proper hockey chirp and check out Shorzy.
I've heard the name. It sounds familiar.
He's just, it's pretty funny. Ripping on like fucking kids in the hockey rink.
I'm not sure exactly where Junior B is, like in terms of age and all that stuff, Jay Patrick, but like back in my hometown of Prince George, all through like most of they're still there now. The Prince George Spruce Kings is what we used to go watch. We even had a WHL team, which is the feeder to the NHL, right? And like Prince George Cougars. And once we got them, we would go and watch Spruce Kings. I honestly just preferred that. Or I don't watch NHL, haven't watched that in years, but I will watch Team Canada in the World Juniors in and around Christmas time. Because to me, that's kids that are playing for their dreams right there. They're playing for gold for their country, and they're playing for NHL contracts if they don't already have them, right? Like they're playing like people that want to be paid and fulfill these dreams. NHL, don't get me wrong, it's fucking great hockey, but you got a whole lot of rich people that are playing like they've been paid. But I guess I don't know. I find the younger sport is just generally better. It's in the Western Hockey League, but fuck you very much, Kingfisher. It's a women's hockey league.
And we make the Canadian women up here, man. They can play hockey pretty good, man. They kick your ass, bro.
Yeah. No, their Canadians women hockey is it's no joke.
We played with one girl, Sharin. She was really, really good and really good looking too. So like we all felt weird, like smoking her into the boards and shit. Whatever, but she'd fucking elbow you in the throat and shit. So fuck her.
Right? Yeah.
So it's like after the first couple times you take a butt end stick from her or something, you're like, okay, I fucking see how this is. You want to play out here? I'll fucking show you. But she'd fucking whoop your ass all the time anyway. So.
That reminds me of playing soccer in gym class. We had this girl named Mandy, and she was actually a boxer, and would like go and was like went down to Vegas shortly after. Like the last time I'd seen her, I went boxing down there. I can't recall if she won the match or not, but like we play soccer in gym class there, and she was like mean. She would like try and take your legs out from under you and stuff like that. She's this tiny girl that was even tinier than I am, or was at that time, even smaller than I am now, and she's just like dirty as shit. And you're scared to like go near her because you don't want to be the picking on a girl guy. But at the same time, if you do try to do anything, she will fucking straight up hit you because she's a fucking boxer and has no scruples. Cool chick. Super cool chick. It was just like, but you felt like it's just hard to compete like that because it's like, fuck, I'm not like a woman beater. I'm not comfortable playing full contact or near full contact sports with females that might get hurt. It just, because then you'd be that guy.
You don't want that. Don't want to be labeled anyone.
Yeah.
All right. Another road bites the dust. I think that's it for this evening. I'm not going to dick around no more. Get these setbacks. I'm not bumped into them. Everything.
Great movie, big word.
Got some more stuff I can condense into the 4x8. The 4x8's got an AC and a humidifier with Inkbird control. So by the end, you guys see how I do it. By the end, I got the the stack of lasagna pans, right? We get these all full and they line the bottom of the tent. And we keep them at 60 for a good week or two once everything's trimmed and ready for jars. That way I can segregate some of the larger buds and smaller buds if I want. Take a couple trays and just quickly toss the big buds, medium buds, small buds, whatever. And another good thing is I'm hauling a lot of top buds here. Like I getting a lot of big buds. So I'm going to be able to leave a lot out on the plant right now and harvest some for hash. And
Nice.
exclusive to my main buds. Yeah, so we did really good this year on that because a lot of it's not done yet. It's all the bottom larfy stuff that still trite covered, but it's not conducive to trimming and trying to get to a jar.
Well, especially if you're trimming in the mass amounts that you're dealing with, right?
Yeah.
Dude, like when I harvest, it's typically like 3-4 plants tops. And like I'm looking at more than 3-4, the equivalent of 3-4 plants that I would be harvesting in there right now, right? You got fucking days and weeks of dealing with this shit ahead of you. So I would get rid of anything that's like, you know what? That's even questionable. Fuck that. You can go towards hash or edibles or, like whatever you want to do with it. But get you the fuck out of the way because I don't want to trim you.
Yeah, that's it. We just get all the big ones done. And then by the end, honestly, a lot of this stuff that's still on the stick, I just will stop trimming it and give it to buddies or something like that if I have enough. But sometimes we sit and trim it all, man. Like the year I did, 198 jars. That was fucking stupid. It was 170 the year after that. So, like, I'm not really looking for that much, but we'll see where we get this year. I'm not complaining, more bud the merrier, but it's a lot of fucking work, man. Here we go, another little haul of wedding cake, folks.
Well, yes, that deserves a dab for G-Bay right there.
Oh, yeah, wedding cake. Yeah.
Right there. And like, I might have to stop watching baseball early this year because it looks like the fucking Yankees are gonna beat the Guardians, and they're gonna go on to the World Series most likely, which just is too much for me to fucking handle. And then on the other side, you got like the Dodgers, who look like they're about to do the same fucking thing. And they used to actually be my NL team. It's been until as recently as last year, but now I just kind of look at them as Yankees West, and I'm just disgusted. And it looks like they're going to spank the Mets, and I'm just like, gosh, I might have to just like pack her in before the World Series. This is strange to me.
Yeah, I don't follow it enough to.
My old lady will be stoked. She'll be, oh fuck yeah. And then I'll come up with some kind of ridiculous something else to watch. Oh, you know what? I just found out today that there's a new season of Ancient Apocalypse on Netflix. And guess who will be signing up for motherfucking Netflix? Probably when the old lady gets home. What I'll do is convince her to do it because she already knows how. She's the one that had the account that we shut down a while ago. But because I think that, like, I saw another thing recently that Mike Tyson fight with Jake Paul is still going on next month, and I still feel like it's not happening, but like, damn, I'm interested. I can't say I'm not interested. So I'm gonna heat up the torch here, rack up a dab, and get lifted.
This grape Hooley's still too wet to smoke. We got some wedding cake hash though, fresh off the gloves. Chunk there. You know, there'll be a piece of leaf or two in there, maybe a fucking dog hair.
Dude, I'm so stoked for dinner tonight. Like, the old lady made like a wicked, phenomenal roast last night. And so it's like, yeah, there's plenty left for leftovers tonight. And, you know, so I'm like really excited about that. And then I started thinking, well, what if it's dried out overnight and all that stuff and it's not as good anymore? And like literally 2 minutes before we went live, I was downstairs fucking munching on a chunk of roast. I just had to see, make sure it was still safe to consume for tonight.
Oh, I made some prime rib the other night for Thanksgiving for me and my parents.
Oh, yeah.
I overcooked it a tiny bit. Like it was medium well, or it should have been medium rare. But hey, the kids probably wouldn't have dug the medium rare anyways. So whatever.
As long as you got the medium in there, I can live with it. I could go medium rare, medium well. I prefer medium rare, but medium well isn't bad. But it's got to have the medium in there somewhere. I'm not one of these people that could do like, what do they call it, like fucking blue rare,
Chicago blue and shit like that.
Yeah, that to me is just a little bit much. But I don't like it when it's overcooked because I find
you know what,
your flavor.
Best steak is like get a strip loin that's like kind of super thin. I'm talking like half inch maybe, super thin for breakfast. So some nice over easy eggs with like a flash seared super thin strip loin. So that's gonna be like rare, but like get the outside like burnt.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I'm telling you, the flavors you get out of that juicy, bloody red meat still. But then you got like the opposite in the same bite, the fucking black charred gristle on the outside and shit.
Yeah.
Delicious. Well, that light's bright. But yeah, check it out, folks. We got another. That's Banana Daddy and Grape Hoolie over on this side, but that's been hanging for a day or two. But now we got another row of Bam 3 and another row of wedding cake. Fuck yeah. I'll take you over to the tent. I don't think you'll be able to really see much because, well, the lights. Well, we've got the 4x8 tent set up here. You see the air conditioning unit there. Got some humidifiers over here. The floor is a little dirty, but we've got a bunch of different strains up here, all segregated into and labeled. You can see the white tags up there. These plants are fairly dry, so that's why they're grouped together so heavily. I don't have to really worry about much airflow right now, but there is a fan right there. That AC blows fan. There's a fan right above it. Yeah, so this is ready to bring in some more and stack it. I love it having it there because this 4x8 becomes a humidor for about 2 or 3 weeks. And then we just filled this girl up today. Let's see if we can't get it open for a little better viewing. There we've got a whole other rack and rack and rack and rack of all the different strains, all labeled, all hung up nice. So I'm trying. One-man band over here. Ding, 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 ding. That's what it feels like, man. Feels fucked, but you know, usually I have some help. I do not this year. I do have some coming this weekend, but we're going to it's kind of a, I would not say humbling, but I say a proud moment when you can really be a farmer at this point. Like this will separate the men from the boys, man. When it comes to harvest season, you're either going to make it or break it. And like you'll hear a lot of people like, "Oh fuck, I just gave up." And well, that sucks because now you got a plant hanging. It's kind of junk because it didn't get, you know, dried properly and this, that, and the other. Right? Takes about a month or so, fucking easy to deal with all this shit. Constantly, every morning when I wake up, first thing I do is I book it down into this room, switch out my switch out my humidifier jugs. That way I know, because the one of them is a 70 hour. So as long as the 70 hours full, it would never dips below like 55. And if I have both of them running, it matches the Inkbird, whatever I set it to. It's constant right at that. So like 60.2 or 60.6, somewhere in that range is where I'm sitting pretty well consistently. And the temperature in this room, yeah, 58.6. I just have that window open right there. And with the weather recently, it's been high humidity. I'm 56% humidity right now. That's deadly for just hanging here on these strings, right? So And I'm moving into this room in a couple weeks, like less than 2 weeks time. So let's go. We got to do this.
Is it going to work out just right where you get everything taken care of just in time? Slide in?
Well, the trimmers are going to be furniture movers too. So if you're listening, bring your safety boots. No, I got to move just my bedroom suite down here, right? My parents are old shit.
Yeah.
Get some of that young muscle. Fucking move some of the furniture down. Basically, just get it down into the downstairs area and I can mess it about. So I got to figure out a ceiling. So I don't really know what to do there. I'm a welder, not a carpenter, right? So can't be too hard to hang a ceiling, though. Like maybe get a dozen tapestries and just go straight hippie.
That's always fun.
Well, then I get the, and because it's not permanent either. Right? This isn't going to be I don't really feel like trying to build this room out right now.
Stuff like that's an easy way to spruce up a room, though. Like over here, that one up there.
Yeah,
that's above our bed, right? That takes up down near the whole wall. That's got to be 6x4 at least. Probably maybe even 7x4.
Yeah, a couple tapestries would take care of that nicely.
But you know what's fucking crazy? Okay, here's another fucking one of the many reasons why I love my missus. Check this out on the door. Okay, so that's a Slayer God Hates Us All flag. Right, just like facing out into the hallway. That, she's actually the one that put it up there. That wasn't me. That wasn't my idea. We just went back in the merry days. It used to be there was a man door with a big glass window going into the garage, and that flag was over that window, so you couldn't see in. And at one point, when we were doing the sorting of the stuff, finalization of the divorce, she was let me kind of go through a few things, and I saw the flag. I was like, "Can I have that?" And she's like, "Yeah, of course, it's yours." And then I came home from work at some point in time, not long after that, and my missus, she had that hanging there. Holy shit! The Cleveland Guardians just tied the game up. I'm probably not watching the World Series this year. Don't get me wrong. They're just giving me false hope that the Yankees might possibly lose at this point. I know better. My life doesn't work that way.
Yeah. It would be nice, though, if the Blue Jays ever had a World Series again. I'd go down.
Here is my honest to God thoughts, not just being a pissy fan because they haven't done good the last couple of years. I feel like the Rogers Corporation, while they have huge, deep pockets, they're not going to spend a lot of money on something like they're a corporation, profits above all else, and they're not going to go out and sign a lot of big name players because they rather would try and sign a player for less and hope it's a player with high upside, and maybe that high upside pans out kind of thing. And so I feel like unless there's some sort of certainty, they're not going to go out and shell out necessary money for the players they need to. You're in Cleveland right now, Joshua? Wow. I don't suppose you're at the game, are you? That's pretty impressive. Like we were, when we started this podcast, the Guardians were winning, then Yankees being the Yankees come back and they take the lead, and then, Guardians tie it up in the bottom of the ninth. Holy shit. They're here's they're the Cleveland Indians. But the COVID days when we had to get rid of everything, I guess, the Cleveland Indians name had to go, which is, it's weird because most Native people, I can't name a single Native person I know that was ever offended by that name. In fact, that was their usual go-to team to cheer for because they felt represented in sports that way. like, so I feel like that was, I don't know, I didn't like that move, but I don't make decisions on those levels. So
Oh, yeah. Oh, it stinks in here, man. Woo-wee. That BAM's got a funk to it.
it's
Smell.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, BAM is friggin' awesome.
It's like a putrid almost. Like, not bad. Ooh-wee. Some of the colas, man, like these are the babies. These are the ones that are, third and fourth round. That plant threw down. Well, I got 3 of them out there, and one's really, really unique. At first, I thought 1 and 2. Like, if anyone knows my grow, the BAM 1, 2, and 3 are moving from the house towards the shed. BAM 1, 2, and 3. First one, nice big globe structure to it. Big tall colas like this. And it purpled out pretty easily when it came to the end of the season as the cold temperatures moved in. Same with number 3. Now, number 2, I noticed one morning because this sounds kind of funny, but in the morning when I have my morning piss, my toilet's there with a window. I'm looking directly out at my grow every morning, first thing. And I just like, hey, ladies. I noticed that the one was really purple and the one was not. It was still very, very green. So I'm like, what the hell, right? So I was out there tonight looking closer, and the bud structure is completely different. The obviously the anthocyanin levels are completely different because nothing is representing on this middle one. It was down to freezing today and absolutely zero color. It's still lime green, and it has more of that like sweet funk that some of the cannabis gets outdoors. Just that nice fluffy bud with that just good outdoor weed aroma. Now the other 2 have a little more solid structure and a little more, a lot more color to them. They finished out very purple and a little more resin rail to them. Like the sugar leaves are a lot more coated, and they retain the same look. Where that middle one is like, it didn't really stick out till now, but it's way different. Kind of neat though. But yeah, it's gonna be neat to try to push that one because it's all like white hair still, and it's a little bit smaller, bud to it, where the size of the bud is the same, but the little bits and pieces of the bud are all kind of like more tight and a little smaller in size, where the other 2 are a little bigger. But it just looks different, and it's going to be neat because I keep all my shit segregated. My strains stay separate, and I enjoy it that way, so I can jar them up and have the proper label. It's going to be good. Can't wait. And the Hawaiians too. Haven't even touched the Hawaiian bud yet. Trying to just leave them. We got powdery mildew moving in a little bit. It's funny because I battled it pretty hard this year, IPM wise, and it's not moving in like in sheet, kind of like it does sometimes where it just lays over the whole leaf or whatever.
Yeah.
This one, you can tell it's like getting kicked out of all the spaces it's trying to take root or take hold, and it's only making it through onto certain parts of the leaf where it can actually get a hold. So it's very, very spotty, and it looks weird at first. It looks more like someone took like white paint, went like that, and clicked it where it's like spots. But then you look closer, and evidently it's powdery mildew. Yeah, it's just really neat because I've been battling hard, and it's moving. Like if there was no IPM done up there, I'm sure it would just be covering everything. Because just the weather we've been having. Shout out to the Lost Coast because that was part of the regiment there. Sulfur was a big part of it. I don't know if that really mitigates powdery mildew at all, but
it is. We dunked every fucking plant in our house last weekend. And we probably might even do it again this weekend. I don't know, maybe not. But within the next week. I ended up finding fucking thrips in the downstairs plants there a few days ago, about a week ago, maybe now. And what it was I think the worm bin. Because when I went to move it under the sink, there was a few thrips that were under the sink. And I was like, oh, okay. So
I can't say, Jay, really. I haven't smoked really anything other than hash off the gloves and shit. But the grape hoolie, man. I'm gonna say I want to smoke some of it because it fucking smells delicious. Banana Daddy as well. At first, it was kind of blank, but now that I've got a tray of it dry, well, semi-dried in the tent, give it a nice little squeeze, and it's got a nice sweet smell to it too. I haven't really hit it with scissors yet or anything, so we don't really know for sure. But it smells like it's going to be right up there. And yeah, the grape hoolie and Banana Daddy, really want to try. The rest, a lot of the stuff in this year is cakey and more spicy, and the Mendo's got like a peppery kind of spiced meat to it. But I'm a fruit smoke kind of guy, so this grape hoolie's really got me intrigued. We told it was dry.
Yeah, the missus figures we've got tangy fruit going on in the for the so I'm not sure she means like the juice tang or not, but like for the grapefruit I've got that Hawaiian snow is just straight freaking pepper, nothing but pepper. Excited to see how that one goes, but it actually almost seems like it might have even stopped developing at this point. Doesn't seem to have really changed much in the last week, but it is a long flowering thing, so maybe it's just taking its sweet ass time. We'll see.
Yeah, the Hawaiian looks done for me. Like, it looks like it's harvestable. If I was a younger, more inexperienced farmer, I know because I've been told and whatnot, but it's like, damn. I may just have to take it down as like as soon as there's room again, right? I want to let it go like another month, but I guess we'll wait till we get the first little bit of rot. As soon as we see a sign of rot, then cut the cord. I like the one just leaning over the fence. It's like big old gangly bud on it. The buds on those things, man. If anyone wants to grow big, huge colas, the Hawaiian Times Black Widow that Dan brewed up for us, all three of them have the same structure. But they're like kind of there's a lot of buds to make up the bud.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of like the white snow. Well, the previous pheno, like I said, the one I got now seems like it might have stalled out, so it's not the same. But the other one was like that. It was like a whole bunch of popcorn nugs in there, but they grew to be a big fucking forearm-sized donkey dick, where you're just like, oh, wow. Like,
Thunder Dan. We just talking about you, brother.
Blaze Cheers, Thunder Dan. Hope you're doing well. Man says, let's blaze. Let's do it.
Blaze. I'm going to go, you know what? I'm going to cook the bud. Yeah, I can't speak. Pick a bud out of this tent here. I believe some Banana Daddy might be ready. Enough that I can give it.
All right. I'm going to heat up a torch, and I'm going to do a dab because it'll take me too damn long to roll a joint.
So we got this here.
Oh, yeah.
Hello. This is the premature Banana Daddy that came down in the storm, but it's still fairly decent. It's squishy. This wouldn't really burn too well, but I'm going to burn some. We'll get this little guy. He looks burnable. But yeah, coming along nicely on the dry and cure of the 2024 Banana Daddy. Up here, up north, started its life out in the Thunderdome. Gang. These are baby buds, guys. These are premature baby buds. So, the size of my freaking thumb.
Damn. Hand grenades.
Yeah, it's good. They would have been. Wow, just look at that nice lime green with the orange pistils in there. That's a beautiful looking flower. Don't mind my dirty welder, man. That's a pretty good and pretty clean for what I do on a daily basis. So, fuck, my last job I just finished. I had to make these 64 brackets that are like, well, whatever, big, fat, thick steel shit with bevels all over the place. I went through 4 or 5 grinding discs, man. I ate iron. I have grinding disc in my life everywhere. I'm done. Don't want to touch that shit. But let's smoke this. Let's see what happens.
I walked a lot of miles today, like literal miles, and I had chainsaw in my hand pretty much the whole time. But I got to do a bit of driving in between, and then a shit ton of driving at the end of the day. So I actually had, and then I got to go get dabs and some weed. So it was a really good day. Oh, but here's fucking. I wanted to do something. I was gonna do a video just on this alone, and I still might. Just like because we talk a lot of shit about dispo weed on this show, and I've been putting the point where in between harvests I've been having to buy dispo weed. So I want to be honest about it. If it sucks, let's call it out and talk about it. But if it's fucking good, let's call it out and talk about it and be fair about it, right? And I haven't been miffed by anything I've seen yet. I've been happy. Maybe not stoked, but like happy and definitely not mad. I went and didn't know what I was even looking for, and I got some Nukin from Versus. And so I was like, that sounds not bad. I think I've smoked that before, and it was okay. And not this Nukin, but like wherever I found it. And the kid behind the counter said it's not bad. He looks like he smokes a bit of a weed. So I was like, okay, I'll take the word for it. Oh, you fucking see the tiny little fucking shits in here. Like just it's all picked apart. Like you can see how much fucking stem sticking up on that. Like not even popcorn, man. Like I'm just like fuck. So
Crumble.
Yeah, like the buds have been ripped apart. Now, even if this is good weed, because I honestly have not tried it yet, you've kind of just fucking lost me. I don't need you to manhand, like, because my thing is I believe dispo weed is overhandled as it is. That's the big thing, right? Because when you see it growing in these plants, it looks amazing, kind of comparable to anything that we would be growing. But by the time it hits here and gets to me as the consumer, it doesn't look like what I would grow in the jar.
What you have in that bag, that doesn't,
yeah, exactly.
Whatever,
So, but I don't need you to rip my fucking nugs apart, and I can do that. I'm perfectly fucking capable, and so I don't like it. So I think this company Versus. And I'll be honest, if I smoke it and I like it, I'll be honest about it and say, hey, I liked it, but you know what? Fuck you. I don't like you ripping my nugs. I can do that myself. Let's face it, we like to see the buds. And not this little bit of crumble here makes me almost think bottom of the bag, but it all looks like it's been trimmed. Like
yeah, we all know back in the day hitting up our plug and you got the bottom of the bag. Usually you got a deal or something.
Fuck, that wouldn't be surprised me there, Southern VT there, for you're checking for mold or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. To me, so that's super sus, I guess, as the kids would say these days. We'll see. We'll see. You can't win them all.
I remember when they first rolled out with the medical program, a friend of mine was involved, and he would get this stuff called pre-milled. So it was just pre-ground, just a white medicine. The labels looked very similar to today, the kind of like the Surgeon General's warning you see on cigarettes or the warnings you see on the top of these cannabis packaging. And it was all right. You could tell at one point that it was good hydro, like somewhere growing like lab grown cannabis, real good stuff. But then it was just powdery, dry shit. It's like, come on, man, you missed the mark. Because as a grower smoker, I love this process. Watching a fresh 10-minute harvested piece, watch it go through the process day to day, 21, 25, 30 days down the line. It's looking like, well, this is, when did that storm happen? Probably 15 days ago, maybe 14 days. I don't know when, but well over a week, into 2 weeks. And this is starting to round the corner. It's still a little pliable. It's not quite ready for the jar yet, but it's damn close. Like I was able to stay lit in the bong, no problem. But it was very fresh. There was no really enjoyment there. That was a fresh bud smoke. But hey, that it's different. Like, I appreciate the dispensaries too. I was privy to my ex-wife being a manager. I saw a lot. I was able to get my hands on the best stuff that they provide, being all the way from distillate pens up to the flower, some hash. I was going to actual farms in Ontario here. Got to tour some of them. That's pretty good. And you're right, Caribou. When they're growing the plants, they're no different or as good or better than any of the stuff we or Chat grow. The problem is, we just seen there, by the time it makes it to your desk, it's all fucked.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that. And actually, I gotta say, it didn't feel dried out, at least. So they're like at least throwing a decent moisture pack in there. Because I have noticed that there's like some of these companies do throw like a decent sized moisture pack in there, so you get some. You're not dried out shit, but there's a lot of companies that don't. And, but like I said, I don't need you to overhandle my weed for me. It's just a sign of tampering. I don't fucking like it. Like
if you were to get an 8th and it showed up to you like that, you'd be a little more.
That's what gets you excited, man. Yeah. Remember, what would you have done back in like high school? When you go to get your plug and they hand you a couple fat fucking nugs like that. Here you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. You the boys is like, yeah.
To the trail.
Fucking right. That sounds exactly right. To the trail.
We all had that high school trail. We had the pines. Our high school is surrounded by like the reforestation pines, grown in rows kind of shit.
Yep.
So there was like a big U shape of that kind of around our high school, and then one end went up towards the mall, and then the other end petered out into subdivisions. But yeah, the pines, man. MSS second.
I remember our trail was like just up from the high school. You weren't allowed to smoke on school property anymore, so we'd go up there, and I remember like it was down like a pipeline or something like that. And some concrete meridians going across so you can drive vehicles down, but there was a walk around trail that people would step through and kind of made. Me and some buddies were sitting there smoking weed, and the Guardians just walked it off. Holy shit. But anyways, we're sitting there smoking weed in this trail on like lunch break or something. And I see someone coming, like see the footsteps coming through the trees. And you're like, oh, yeah, someone's coming to smoke weed, maybe they'll match us a joint and stuff. And then I noticed, like, the creases in the blue pants. And I was like, oh, shit, it's a principal. Fucking is, like, kind of like, getting ready to make noise, signal everybody to run. And then in the next split second, I see the high-vis yellow stripe going down the leg. Oh, it's a cop. So... me and my buddy, I started running down the hill, and I'm about halfway down this hill, and it's a big fucking hill. And all of a sudden, my buddy Chris comes just motoring by me like I was standing still. Like, I don't think I've ever seen anybody run that fast in my life still to this day. It was fucking nuts. And then our other two buddies we were with, they just kind of went back out and around past the cop car and another cop, I guess, and then like down the road right back to the school. And then, like, went into the smoker, like, or not the smokers area, because you weren't allowed to do that there anymore. But, they're, like, found some crowd to hang out in. And it was, nobody ever got caught for that. But it was...
That's awesome.
I think I ended up taking the rest of the day off school is probably what I did. Well, that's way too scary. There's going to be word out there, freaking, no, never got caught. But... I'm looking at the time here, and I got to go get my missus because she doesn't deserve to have to walk home. And yeah, but what are you doing tomorrow night? You want to do a shit show?
I'll be trimming, yeah. So
okay,
you can do that.
That sounds good. I was actually just even before we got, because I saw that you got in here before me. You started this one up about 3 minutes before I got in to try to do it. And then I was actually about to start up and I was, let's do Friday. I got no kid tomorrow night and do a shit show. It's been a hot minute. And then I just But I was like, well, I'll make sure that you're going to be around at least. So tomorrow night, everyone, come join us on a shit show and come hang out on the panel with us. Don't just hang out in the live chat. I see everybody jump up and have word conversations. I saw a thing on Facebook today where someone was like, name something that's been lost in the last like 30 years. And a buddy of mine's response was like the art of conversation and eye contact. And I couldn't agree more. It's like, it seems less of it. So we'd love to see you all up on here bullshitting with us. And we'll be posting that link regular. We'll be back tomorrow night. With that, we outie.